Good day, friends. This is Tracy Brown, and my team and I of non-diet dietitians provide trauma-informed care so you can feel safer in your own skin and work with the too much and not enough that feels like impacts your food. So to that segue, I guess what we're going to talk about this week is how chronic dieting, body image issues, eating to, people often say comfort or whatever it is around emotions that we do with food. And again, here on this platform, we don't demonize emotional eating because all humans do it. It's more the dissociative quality of it that we want to address, that we have all kinds of ways to get our needs met beyond when we feel sad, eating to fill the space where a hug could be or an expression of those that need to connect would be. And so again, that's what this video is about, is when we are using food to express needs. So we all have human needs. We were babies once, and all we had to do really, so theoretically, was to cry and to have us have a felt sense of the world is maybe relatively safe and people are relatively safe and reliable and trustworthy, that we cry and we get our need met, whether it's a need for like co-regulation, like having, again, body sense that someone's holding us or touching us or caring for us, or we're hungry and we get fed, or we're allowed to be full and turn away, or our diaper needs to be changed, or we're tired and we have a safe place to sleep. When we get, early on, when we get the needs met at certain developmental milestones, we tend to trust that our needs are going to get met and that they matter. All right. And so if somewhere along the line comes along where it's our needs for, maybe it's not food and shelter and bodily function needs or whatever, when maybe those got met, maybe they didn't, but maybe let's say they did get met, but what didn't get met with this sense like, wow, like your needs aren't too much for being seen, being heard, feeling welcome here. You're not a burden, like those kind of things. We start to see ourselves as like, okay, I get my needs met and I can go off and do some more challenging stuff. And then I'll come back to home base and all that. So a lot of times what happens is if we don't have this foundational stuff around our mental, emotional, relational, and food needs getting met, and the body that we have is the container for all that, and it's seen as like just part of us, but not our value and worth. When that stuff all goes right, we don't tend to be very attached or attracted to what everybody else is doing around food and weight. We just kind of do our thing, get our needs met, not think that what we look like is all that important, do good self-care, and kind of roll on. And that's where sometimes when we see the people doing that so naturally, like, what is going on with that? How do they do that so easily? And a lot of that just has to do with like, well, they have some foundational wiring for that, to be honest. When we don't, this is where, and we have this deficit of feeling our needs, and I'm not just talking physical needs, but also the way you are is fine. We don't need to change you for you to feel loved, or emotionally, like, yeah, I'm seeing you're really feeling stressed about this or hurt about this. I'm here. What do you need? When we don't have a lot of wiring for that, we tend to look at something external to us that's maybe not people to get that need met. Of course, a lot of you are raising your hand here like, yeah, that's right. I use food. I use exercise. I either under or over exercise. I under or overeat or whatever to get some of those foundational. It's an expression of not knowing how to get our needs met, essentially. So as I finish up this video, I want you to think about today. How do you express your needs? Through under eating. How do you express your needs through just this belief that nobody understands or nobody can help? How do you express your needs through believing that food is the only thing that won't hurt you? How do you express your needs? And remember, go deep here. Think about emotions. How are you expressing your need for feeling safe by over-controlling your food? By ignoring health needs, or by every ache and pain feels like a threat, and what is that expression of? So go deep here, because we're going to talk a little bit more on the next video about some examples of this. But I want you to have your examples first without me kind of like, what's the right word? I don't know. Like speaking for you. I don't want to speak for anyone, but it's more about like, and I'll just give you one example. Is that, I know that I, eat late at night when no one's looking because I don't feel like I get my needs met for any kind of socialization or joy, and I do it through food, and this is how I'm expressing that need, and I didn't even know it. Okay, so write that down, and then the next video we're going to talk a little bit more like, well, what are some ways in which we can be curious about how do I get my needs met if it's not going to be only through a substitute of food. Another example would be like, I kind of feel like I have to have all the answers, and I can't let anybody help me with my food because, I gotta have it all together, and I can't stop working, and I can't stop moving. What need is that expressing? To me, is the clue here is that you're expressing what's missing in your system. Another clue here is like, we're feeling like if I yield, if I slow down, something bad's gonna happen. There's nothing here that's got me. Okay, so you're expressing honestly what's missing that has to be developed in your life. So anyway, I want you to go deep and be thinking about these things. Again, this isn't a substitute for the actual, co-regulatory work that you can get in counseling and nutrition counseling and all that. But this is the track we're on here to look at like what I know what I'm doing is not working. And I actually even have some ideas of what might help me, but I'm not doing it. And so we want to have some compassion for the barrier and look more deeply, like, why do I have this barrier? What need is this serving that actually there's a need that would have a better solution, but I just don't have it in my system to know what it is, how to reach for it, because all I've ever used is this food stuff. So that's the reason we're doing these videos. I hope that was helpful. I will see you in a couple days for the next video. If you need some more support, please reach out below, and I'd be happy to chat with you. Bye for now.